welcome back. Now I will be showing you a basic single crochet, starting off from your chain. So once you've chained your work, here I have 15 stitches. I'm not going to make it long because then, it's going to make the video kind of long. Some patterns that you will do will require you to skip chains off the hook, add chains. It all depends on the pattern that you're using. But right now, I'm just going to show you a very simple single crochet that you can practice with and learn, okay? So we see that there's a chain right under the hook. We're going to go ahead and skip that. We're going to go down to the second chain from the hook, okay? Same way that you would wrap the yarn for your chain work is the same way you're going to wrap for double crochets, triple crochets, so on and so forth. But for single crochets, there's no wrapping until you actually insert the hook into the chain that you want to start your work with. So, second chain from the hook, 1, 2, insert your hook so that it slides under that top loop. Now, this is where you see the motion. Grab the yarn, pull it through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Okay, wrap again, pull through both. And that is a standard single crochet stitch. Okay, so now this is the chain that you put the work into. So the next chain would be here. Insert your hook so that the top loop slides over. Grab your yarn, pull through. Okay. Grab your yarn again and pull through again. So now you have 2 single crochets. Your first chain and your second chain. Now we're going to move on to the third chain. Same concept. Insert the hook right into that top loop so that it's sitting on your hook. Grab your yarn, pull through 2 loops, pull through both. Okay? And this is where you need to practice before you start learning patterns and double crochets and triple crochets. This is where you will learn how to hold the tension in your hand on your hook so that your work is uniformed and even on the sides. Because what happens sometimes is your stitch, you'll start with a line this wide, and slowly, because your tension is too tight, your stitches, it's the same amount of stitches, but they're so tight that it makes your work peak. So this is my recommendation. Use this method to practice, okay? So the hook's already in that first loop. Grab your yarn, pull through 2 loops, pull through again. Okay? Top loop, pull through again. This loop, right through, pull through again. Pull through, pull through, pull through. Okay? Top loop over the hook, yarn through that loop, and yarn through the 2 loops on the hook. Okay? And this is your basic single crochet. You can consider this the front of your work, the back of your work, and that's what the back will look like. It's slightly different from the front, but that's okay. It gives you options. Okay? Let's go ahead and finish. Again, this is work I'm doing very slow so that you guys can see. But as you can see, I can do this fast. If you ever miss a stitch or you feel like the stitch is not right, there's something wrong with it, just pull it out. It's that simple. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to, didn't realize I was off camera there. It's hard to videotape yourself while you're doing this. Okay, so now we've reached the end of our work. The first line is done. You chain single crochets into the chain work that you created after the slip knot. So now you're probably asking yourself, what do I do now? Okay. You can either, depending once again on if you're working on patterns or you're doing just a straight single crochet. I mean, this could be a scarf that you want to make. It's your preference if you are not following the pattern for whatever it is that you want to do. You can either just turn the work around and start stitching. I recommend to always chain one, just so that you have a little bit of leeway, so that when you turn around your work doesn't start crunching in. Okay, so I'll take that out. Finished our single crochets, and the same way that you chained the beginning of the work is how you chain. Turn your hook to the left, yarn's behind, grab your yarn, pull through the loop. Okay, just turn your work around so that the back of it is now the start of it. Okay, see this top loop? That's where you're going to put your hook through. Sometimes you might want to hold the yarn with your other thumb. Okay, so it's through that top loop, same way as before. Just pull it through this loop right here. That's where your hook's going to go in. Chain. I'm sorry, pull through again, loop, pull through again. There is another way to do this. You can do it through the 2 loops. That's a little more advanced. For now, just gauge this row of those top loops all along the top. That's all you need to put your work into, and it will look beautiful. Okay, top loop, through and through, top loop, through and through, top loop, through and through, top loop, through and through. You see? Matching what you did on the bottom row. That's what your second row is going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and get to the end. Okay. Now this is what I wanted to show you. When you get to the end of your work, it almost looks like you have 2 stitches left. But remember, this is going to be equivalent and equal to that chain 1 that you did in the beginning of this second row. So don't stitch all the way over here. Just this loop, that's that last loop on that line, that's where you're going to put your hook into. Okay? Not there. That's just the equivalent to the chain 1 that you did over here. So again, you reach the end, you're going to turn your work around to continue. Chain 1, turn your work around. Okay? Now you see you have a loop and then the work. You don't work into here, because if you do it into here, you're just going to pull apart that loop. You skip that loop, go into the second one, this loop right there. That's where the work goes into. Now you've turned your work around. Next loop, that top loop. So hard to look on the camera while you're doing this. That top loop, pull through, top loop, pull through, pull through. And that would be your third row. Okay? And that is your basic single crochet. I hope that helped you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below or inbox me, and I will try my best to answer your questions. Thank you so much. Happy crocheting!